Welcome to Paranormal Kativity. Today I'm going to tell you a story about when my aunt bought a haunted house. So, this aunt was best friends with the person who bought the house that had the dark energies in it. Family friend, because that person was also a friend of my mom's, but best friends with her sister. So, that aunt, I think it was in, right before the best friend bought the house that had the dark energies. She bought a house out by my school, and they originally live in North Carolina, so it was kind of a big move for them. The kids were going to go to the same school as myself and my brother, so it was kind of like an exciting thing, and we decided that we were going to help them move in. So, the first night that they moved in, I stayed the night, and so did my brother. They had the living room set up, and we were just crashing on the lounge chair couch thing. It had the reclining sides. So we were sleeping there, and one of our little cousins was sleeping in the chair in front of us, right by the TV. And this is not necessarily paranormal on this instance, but middle of the night, he stands up and sleepwalks. And I'd never seen anybody sleepwalk before, but he walked through the kitchen, which had a pass-through, it was open on both ends. So we walked through the kitchen, back out, sat down, and then stood up and walked around his chair 3 times. Then he tried to go out the front door. And so I had to grab him, take him back to his mom, and by the time I got him back to his mom, he peed his pants, which I guess is a common thing with sleepwalkers. So, she told me that he'd sleepwalked before, and sleepwalked? That's not right. I don't know what is right though. So, that's something that had happened before. But after that instance, it started being an almost nightly thing where he would do some type of sleepwalking. And most of the time when he would sleepwalk, he would try and leave the house, which isn't necessarily normal for his case of sleepwalking, especially since it was a brand new house. So that first night he tried to go out the front door, and then the following nights he would try and go in the basement or out the back door, just repeatedly over and over. And it was to the point they had to attach little locks to the top of the door, just little latch locks, so that way he wouldn't be able to get out in the middle of the night. So that was creepy enough. Whenever we were moving them in, the basement had just this darkness to it, this eeriness. No matter how many lights were on, it always seemed dark. And there was a mirror, a giant old mirror. I say giant, but it was probably 3 foot by 4 foot, good size mirror. And it was framed out with wood. And it was just down there, and it creeped us all out. So anytime we had to go down there, we would run. And as the time went on that they were there, which they weren't there very long, we would hear, and especially them because I didn't stay there all the time, but you would hear steps on the stairs in the basement, and usually it was the same number up as it was down. I believe it was 5 or 6, but you'd hear them go up, and then you'd hear them go down, and just up and down, and my aunt and uncle would throw open the door, see if anything was crawling around, like a animal or something. Never had anything down there. So that was weird. They also had, when you walked in the house, it was living room, kitchen, hallway with bedrooms, and there was one extra bedroom, right around the corner from when you walked in. And that room always kind of creeped me out. And they had a closet there, and whenever you open the closet door, there was the rod, but if you didn't have clothes hanging there, you would be able to see there were 3 steps, a landing, and then steps to the attic in the closet, which was just creepy enough as it is, so I didn't really care for that. But the weirdest thing, at least for me, about this house was the fact that my little cousins, I have 2 boy cousins, one was a baby at the time and one was elementary school. They would start playing games with things in their bedrooms. Well, bedroom, because they shared one. And there was one night specifically that I remember my aunt telling me. She went in the room hearing the boys playing with something. And so she didn't know what was going on. It was the middle of the night. She opens the door, and as she opens the door, she sees that both of her kids are asleep in bed. And on the floor are all of their, Hot Wheels cars. And they're still rolling towards the wall and hitting the wall. But the kids are asleep. So there are just these Hot Wheels cars, already halfway across the floor going boom, up against the wall. And she was like, okay, this is creepy. But I know that, she'd had trouble sleeping there. She told me she had a lot of sleepless nights. I remember her telling me she was so tired sometimes, like she would go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and would almost fall asleep in there because it was more comforting than the bedrooms for her. But yeah, overall, it was just a super creepy house. And the story about the Hot Wheels cars just gets me. It's just creepy. So yeah, that's the tale. Shortly after that, they moved out. Obviously, it wasn't as intense as her friend's experience shortly after, but it definitely was enough for them all to be severely creeped out and wondering why they moved to this state in the first place. So, hope you enjoyed the story. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And please stick around for more different kinds of videos in the future and more of my stories because I have a bunch. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic night.